Hello and thanks for watching another episode of News of the Pews, where you can count on unapologetic 2A advocacy. Gun rights are human rights. Chalk another one up for the good guys. The Firearms Policy Coalition just broke one off inside the Empire State's lawyers, forcing them to begin issuing out-of-state carry permits because, as the FPC argued in the suit, people do not surrender their Second Amendment protected rights when they travel outside their home state.
As if.
The Empire's tech adepts even updated the state's frequently asked questions page with the new policy. Unfortunately, that same page contains utterly delusional misinformation. They still believe their statutes trump the Constitution. It is, of course, unlawful for the state to hold your rights hostage to a permit. Their statute is void and unenforceable. But that doesn't make you a pusillanimous loser for complying either. I got into a discussion with a well-meaning lad the other day who seemed to be under the impression that if I comply with any law, then I forfeit my right to criticize that law or any other laws. That one must comply fully or rebel completely. This type of insufferable edgelord is pretty common. They believe that by pointing out the fact that I'm not out there doing a gun violence against every Fed in my town, that is somehow a gotcha, that I'm not really serious about gun rights. The funniest part, though, is when he assumed that because I'm not posting evidence of my crimes, that is somehow proof that I dutifully comply with every law.
This is for all you new people. I only have one rule.
First rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Of course, it would be foolish for me to incriminate myself on record, but I assure you I only obey such laws that I consider to be just and legal, and I encourage you to quietly disregard any laws you believe to be unjust as well. And if you are at a point in life where you've got the time and money to take one for the team, then, well, you ought to be vocal about it. But no shade for anybody who quietly disregards unjust laws either.
Just keep your picker hard and your powder dry, the worm will turn.
But hey, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without you. So, if you are in a comfortable place in life, please help us stay in a comfortable place in life by contributing to our tip jars in the doobly-doo, or by joining our channel, or buying one of these sick t-shirts for just 15 bucks. If you're not in a comfortable place though, remember, you don't owe us a thing. Please enjoy this 2A propaganda at the price of free $99 and continue to pray for us. If the ATF is consistent in one thing, it is their penchant for fickleness. The only thing they like more is arbitrarily infringing on the God-given rights of Americans, and for a long time, the ATF was denying tax stamp applications if the reason someone gave for asking to be granted permission to pay a tax was anything that upset the agents. Fun fact, the feds don't actually have any authority to deny Forms 1 or 4 for saying things like, to exercise my God-given right, or the incredibly based, for all lawful purposes, including justifiable homicide. But they nevertheless have been kicking back applications for a long time for literally those things I just said.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It all came to a head recently when the GOA called them out in a post on X for denying one particular application, and the ATF responded by framing it as an error. Some people were quick to praise President Trump for this, but I'm not so sure he had anything to do with it in the first place, and I'm not really convinced that it's all that worthy of praise anyway, considering the ATF didn't say anything at all about the countless other applications denied unlawfully, let alone acknowledge they lack the authority to make any subjective assessment of the applicant's need for the stamp. What do you folks think? Did the ATF do us a solid here? Really? Some delusional idiot tried to fool the folks who run Steadfast Tactical in Houston, Texas with a letter from the Department of Homeland Security in which Kristi Noem appears to say, the US government is instituting a temporary suspension of the rights granted by the Second Amendment, and that the business must provide a full inventory of guns to any ICE agent who shows up, and all employees have to hand over any gun they happen to be carrying. Aside from the letter itself just not sounding remotely credible, it was delivered by some sketchy character just taping it to the door at night. So, true to their name, the Steadfast folks were not remotely shook, and the ATF did confirm it was a hoax with an alert email to FFL holders. Some folks are speculating it's a setup for a robbery, but I think it's more likely some leftist super genius assumes all those stupid gun shop hillbillies will believe their clever ruse and therefore be persuaded to hate ICE with the passion of 1,000 suns. I don't know, what do you think? Well folks, round is complete on 2, but before I go, your moment of completion. I love you.
I am Chest Rigatron. I can carry 1,000 rounds of ammunition. I have traveled back in time to save you from buying 4 test rigs when you may only need 1.